Hi, everybody. Welcome to Something. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Something to Say. This is my husband,
Yep.
Steve, and I'm Aja. What's happening, y'all?
Right.
Okay, well, we're going to have a few conversations today, and I wanted to discuss a few topics. Got my old school. Got my phone here. Don't be laughing at me. All right, so, hmm, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about teenagers or children, period, rushing to be adults. So,
In my opinion, I feel like they are taking something from they see in their environment where they live, something they see at school, something they see at the public, and they feel like that is what they really want. So they're acting on trying to be whatever it is they're saying. They're trying to be grown. They're trying to do things that adults would do, and they're just rushing into it. They may even be influenced by other people, by adults, by older children,
hmm
by their peers, and be a kid. There's no rush. There's no reason to try to hurry up and become an adult because once you get there, you're going to see all the other stuff that comes with being old enough and
mm.
being responsible and being an adult. So take your time. Be a kid, do kid things, explore, experiment, do all of it while you ain't got to worry about bills and shit. So that's my take on
Did you feel like you were doing things now that you look back that you feel like you were rushing?
it. No.
Well, I'm quite the contrary. I think it happens like that for girls anyway,
Mm.
because we see our mothers, we see our grandmothers, we see our aunties, older cousins, older siblings, and
Mm-hmm.
you see how beautiful they are or things that they're able to do, and you want to be able to do those things too.
Yeah.
And I know that I always wanted to go out with my auntie, or I always wanted to do my hair like my mother, or I wanted to go outside when my grandmother was having a party and she was with all of her friends. And even when I would get dressed, I would notice the ladies in my neighborhood, I would want to dress like them, or, like the older girls that lived like next door, I wanted to be like them. And it had an adverse effect for me. You know, when you dress like that and you present yourself that way, you give people who aren't mentally strong enough to separate the fact that you're maybe a shapely little, young lady, but you're a child. And men who aren't able to separate those two things, they look at you as an invitation. The way that you present yourself is an invitation. So when you rush to be an adult, you're bringing upon yourself adult things.
Mm.
And those adult things can range anywhere from um, unwanted verbiage where somebody's saying something to you that you're not ready to hear or ready or want said to you. You can have an effect where they feel like, well, she's engaging with me, she's talking to me, so she ready for what I'm ready to give her.
Mm.
And then even when you find yourself rushing and you get yourself in a predicament where you thought you were mature enough to get out of it, in the midst of it, as a child, you submit to it, or you're afraid because you don't know how to handle yourself in that adult situation. So you find yourself succumb to danger, or you know uh, danger. I can't even fix that. Just
Danger.
danger.
Definitely danger.
Um, since we're on the topic of rushing to be an adult, let's talk about sex. Who, what, when, why, and how.
Mm.
So, what are your
Can you
thoughts?
elaborate?
Well, for both guys and girls, How do you feel like, and you can put this all in the comment section below. When do you, or even adults, give your feedback and your advice, because this is an open forum for everybody to give their thoughts and opinions on, the subjects that we're talking about. Um, how do you know who you should sleep with? How do you know that that's something that you should be doing? What do you want to do? And why are you doing it? Excuse me, y'all, I have itchy skin, so I'm always messing with my nose. But yeah, I'll let you start.
Well, for men, it's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
You see a woman that you're attracted to, she's attractive in one way or another. You approach. 9 times out of 10, if we see a woman that's attractive and we want to engage with her, we're going to want to have sex. So,
But
it's really.
When do you think it's appropriate?
What age?
Especially for boys or young men.
Well, yeah, we all know about the double standard in society. It's seen as a positive thing when it comes to guys and sex and having multiple women that they have sex with. So, for a guy, I didn't have sex until later. So, yeah, I'm giving my opinion from that perspective. So for a guy, I would say sometime in high school probably will be a good time. 15, 16. Just be responsible. Manhood should be big enough to where you can fit into like a regular size condom and be alright. So I think that's a good age.
Well, I don't think they should start that young, but that's realistic though, especially nowadays.
Yeah, because we get interested in each other very early on. I mean,
true.
I've heard stories where there's elementary school kids hunching somewhere behind a building or something.
Oh my God!
So
being from Miami,
our oldest son, in kindergarten, there was a little girl that in recess she pushed him up against the fence, and she kissed him?
She grabbed him.
She grabbed his penis. Now who knows what was going on in her life or in her home to where she felt like that was okay. But it starts really early. It's nothing you can be prepared for. I mean, we weren't thinking about having to deal with relationships and them, like our boys, like we have 3 boys. We weren't thinking about our boys having sex or having girlfriends or any of that stuff until much older.
Later.
Late middle school, high school. Everything before that is puppy love, to us. So, the reality, it presented itself really early on before we were ready for it, and that's the truth. There is no age; it's different for everybody. But if we can make them wait, I say around 15, 16, they're somewhat mature and they're kind of.
They'll start having girlfriends and stuff.
They'll start having girlfriends before that, but they'll
God.
have their head on straighter around that age than they would, at 10, 11, 12.
Well, I mean, I started early, and nothing good came from starting at those ages. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're not educated on the sex. I mean, especially if your parent, if you haven't had like a true sit down visit to the gynecologist, like talk on condoms, contraception of any kind, sponge, Lord Jesus, birth control. That's old school where they put the diaphragm in and all of that stuff. But I mean, there's so many different types of contraception. I mean, you even have the ones where you get it in your arm, you take the pill. I mean, it's so many different ways that women can prevent pregnancy. And then unfortunately, if you do end up having intercourse without protection and there is a slip up, they got plan B, and then there's a further unfortunate situation when you don't even know that you're pregnant, and there's abortion, and that's a whole nother topic. But and we're back. So yeah, as I was saying, when you decide that you do want to have sex or intercourse, whichever term feels more appropriate to you all, you want to make sure that this part of your body that you're giving to somebody is given to a person who deserves it. You want to make sure that this person is going to respect what you want and what you don't want to happen. You want this person to not have you sprayed up all over the school, on the internet. Use protection. Ultimately, it's not gonna be great the first time, because hopefully you both are of the same age and neither one of you know what's going on. Fortunately, in my situation, the person was much older than me, and it was just a flop. It was definitely not the time, and not the person, not the situation, not what I wanted, how I wanted it, when I wanted it. It was all bad. So when I say who, what, when, where, when, why, how, all of that is very important, because you can't take that first time back. You can't redo it. You can't press rewind. You can't none of that. You can't delete it and try again. You can't. So just be mindful of what you're doing, why you're doing it. Not because your friends, everybody, that was why I did it, because all my friends were having sex and they were talking to me about, oh girl, it felt like this and it was like that, and he was this and he was that, and he told me I was this and all of this and all of that, and it was all for the wrong reason. I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in, and I found myself in a bad situation. And it was a person I didn't even know well. He didn't go to my school. It was just all bad.
Yeah, trying to fit in has its side effects. Usually they're all negative.
It was all bad. So just be careful. Think about it thoroughly before you do it. Just my advice. Protect yourself and make sure that person has the right idea about what you all are doing. Who decides what you deserve
in life?
In life.
You do. You are the common denominator. You are the person that is the champion for whatever it is that happens in your life. To a certain degree, we can't control things, but the large majority of what happens to us in our life is on us. You have to have an idea of what the next step is going to be. I had a conversation with someone that started at my job recently, a sales manager actually. Now he has no prior formal sales experience, but the position that he was in previously, he worked with the sales team. He helped close sales to customers. So when he came on, he told me that this job that he's getting is just for experience. This is not an end game. This is not where he's going to be for the next 5 or 10 years. This is a stepping stone to what he truly wants to do, which is to become the COO of a major company.
Okay, go.
A sales manager, having experience in sales and having experience in operations from his research is what most COOs have. So this was just a stepping stone. And it brought to mind the phrase that you hear, you can either flow with the river or you can just float through it and just be floating along through life. And I was floating along. I knew this phrase. I knew that I wanted more. I had my goals. Let me be honest, I didn't really have any real goals set. I just knew that I wanted to be more successful financially. But I didn't have a plan to get there. It's like wishing for something and just letting it be a dream and stay a dream, because it'll never turn into anything if you don't have a plan in place and have steps that you're going to go from one step to the next to make that dream a reality. And having that conversation with him and seeing somebody that wanted to become wanted to be in the top, one of the very top positions at a company, made me realize just how little planning that I was doing for my own financial success. And I'm starting to take steps now to see where it is I want to take my career from where it's at now. So you are responsible 100% for your future and whatever it is you want to do.
Okay.
You just need to just do it. Start somewhere.
Somewhere. Like this, us doing YouTube, like I'm private. I'm a very private person. I've always been a private person. I'm an extrovert when it comes to people I'm comfortable with, so when I get loose and I have a good time and I have fun with people, it's because I'm comfortable with you. It's because I care about you. I know you care about me. I'm not gonna feel no kind of way at the end of the day. I'm not gonna feel like everybody was side-eyeing me the whole time. That kind of thing. But YouTube I'm stepping out there. It's very mean. People out there, internet bullies. Just negative, miserable people who want to bring down somebody else to make themselves feel better. All kind of stuff out here. And I don't have the thickest skin, but I ain't no punk neither. So I'm not gonna be out here going back and forth with you. I got a real quick solution for stuff like that. So, with me stepping out and doing this YouTube thing, it's because I feel like I deserve it. I feel like I deserve to have this outlet, this platform. I feel like I deserve to share my life experience with somebody that it may help, even if it's just a couple people. I want what we have to say to reach somebody who needs to hear it, whether it's a young adult, a young child, a teenager, a grown person, a senior. I'm 35, Steve is 33. We have a lot more living to do as well. So just, our advice right now is what we've been through. It's not, nothing that we don't know. And I don't like speaking on stuff that I don't know nothing about anyway. Mm-hmm. But, the end of, like Steve just said, the end of the day, who decides what you deserve is you.
We're not saying that when we say deserve, we don't mean it in the form of entitlement.
Oh yes.
What we're saying is,
please. Thanks for clearing that up.
you want to strive for the things that you feel like the things you want to happen for you. The things you want to happen for you, and just the amount of energy and passion you're going to put into finding what it is you feel like you can have.
Right. Nobody else should decide that for you.
You're the only person that sets the limits on what you can achieve.
Oh yeah.
So you just
oh my God.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yes.
And we're the ones that set the bar as far as our level of accolades, what we can achieve. We set that bar. The minute you stop trying and the minute you settle is the minute you're going to stop growing and moving forward. And that whole conversation just it really inspired me like I had never been inspired by a person that I personally met before. And it made me realize I'm just sitting here, and I used to complain a lot. And I'm not big on complaining. If there is something that bothers me, I usually just keep it to myself. Mm-hmm. But in conversation and just in things that I would see, and I'm like, man, I want that. I really want that. I can't afford it. But I have to stop focusing on those things and start focusing on what I can do to achieve and gain the things that I want. And financial success is one big thing that I'm really working towards right now. Mm-hmm. I've already put certain steps in place, and I'm going to start executing on that as soon as I know the path to get where I'm trying to go.
Mm-hmm. And don't let nobody get in your way. Don't let nobody get in your way. That's why we say, who decides what you deserve? Is it the person that said, well, yeah, you want to do hair, but the way you do hair ain't really all that great, so why would you try to pursue that? Or I want to design clothes, or I want to have my own clothing line. Girl, please, you can't dress. So why would you even try to do something like that? You know, and there's people that will stand in your way indirectly saying what you deserve, and you have to decide that. You have to say, you know what? You might not think I know how to dress, but somebody else that has seen me like my style. They like my outfit. So I'm going to create a clothing line for the women that dress like me, for the men that dress like me. Who are you to tell me what I deserve to have or what I deserve to accomplish?
Or what I'm not good enough for.
Right.
Or
You
what
know?
I can't do.
Man, people will stand in your way every time, especially when you're doing something that they probably wanted to do but didn't have the courage enough to take advantage of, or take the opportunity to do. So you decide. At the end of the day, you decide what you deserve.
Right on. Good topics, baby.
Good topics, right?
Yeah, we have really got to
Excuse me.
have goals. And I know you don't like when people be talking about goals and shit like that, like relationship goals and all that. And it's true. You'll see
Yeah,
somebody
nah.
posting about their life and how good it is and the kissing and the lovey-dovey and all that shit. And then they'll go and try to confide in you in something that they going through and how they can't even look at each other.
Man, come on.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yesterday y'all was like the most loved. Y'all was just the most in love.
Alright, guys. Well, until next video, leave a comment below. Please be open, be clear and honest about how you feel about the topics. Please, we love to learn new things and want to hear your feedback. So leave a comment below. I hope you liked the video. Put a thumbs up, subscribe so you can hear more from me, more from Steve. And we'll see you all next time.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Later.
peace.